Hey there guys, welcome to another episode. Today I'm going to talk about something that's a little controversial in some spaces. Calorie deficits. The way you figure out a calorie deficit, okay, and why it's important. First thing you need to figure out is your BMR. BMR equation looks complicated, but it's not. It's 10 times your weight in kilograms plus 6.25 times your height in centimeters minus 5 times your age in years. And if you're a man, it's plus 5. And if you're a woman, it's minus 161. For example, I'm going to use my stats in the equation. So 318 pounds, that's 144.2 kilograms. I'm currently 6 foot 4 inches, that's 193 centimeters, and I'm 33 years old. So it would be 10 times 144.2 kilograms plus 6.25 times 193 centimeters minus 5 times 33 years plus 5. So you would follow the order of operations, and from school it's PEMDAS. So after you do the equations, it would equal 2,330 calories. That is my calorie intake during the day to just breathe. Nothing else. Breathe and sleep. It doesn't incorporate anything like walking, working, none of that. This is just the minimum calories I need for my organ function and my brain function and just to live. Now that we use the Mifflin-St. Jeor equation to figure out the BMR, or basal metabolic rate, now comes the second part of the equation. Abbreviated as TDEE, it's total daily energy expenditure. So up here I have the BMR, that's 2,330 calories for my weight and my stats. You figure out the total daily energy expenditure by multiplying your BMR to an activity factor. Okay? This isn't an exact science, but it's a baseline to get you in the right ballpark of where you need to be. So if you're sedentary, lazy bum, desk job, no gym activity whatsoever, no walking, no nothing, that's a factor of 1.2. If you're lightly active, that's light exercise 1 to 3 days a week, or daily steps between 6,000 to 10,000 a day, you would use a factor of 1.375. Moderately active, that's 3 to 5 days a week, lifting at a gym or an active job. That's a factor of 1.55. Very active, hard training, 6 to 7 days a week, that's a factor of 1.725. And then super active, that would be double sessions, construction work, intense cardio levels. That's a factor of 1.9. So I put my calories here of 2,330 times 1.55. That gives me a total daily energy expenditure of 3,611 calories. That's per day, right? So the important part here is when you're doing a deficit, you want to be between your BMR, 2,330, and your total daily energy expenditure. A deficit would look around 500 to 700 calories, give or take. So a deficit for me would be between 3,200 calories to 2,800 calories. So now that we figured out our total daily energy expenditure, now comes the third piece of the puzzle, and probably the most important out of all of them. Now we talk about the macros. Macros are broken down into three different primary things: carbohydrates, proteins, fats. If you don't reach your BMR, right? And most people don't even know what their BMR is, especially when they're trying to lose weight. The common fad that I see all around social media right now among popular fitness trainers and MMA guys is that if you want to lose weight, just eat less. If you're not losing weight, eat even less. And it really frustrates me because nobody talks about the biggest, most important issue. What is it that you're exactly eating? How much of it do you need to eat? And why is it important to eat the certain things that you got to eat within these parameters? So I'm going to break it down. If you end up having too little carbs below your BMR, you're going to have low energy and you're going to have poor recovery. If you don't have enough protein, you're going to have muscle breakdown. And if you don't have enough fats, healthy fats, you're going to have hormonal disruptions. Okay? So the biggest point, eating too far below your BMR is harmful. Now, for my weight, how I break it down is I start off with the protein, right? You want to have 1 gram of protein for each pound of lean muscle mass. Okay? So there's calculations you can use to figure that out, or you can go to an imaging center and get a body composition test. It's roughly $75. If you're super serious about it, it'll tell you the exact lean body mass to the pound. So I'm averaging 250 grams of protein. I'll be between that and roughly 220. So that's my goal weight. I want to be 220 to 250 pounds. You times that by 4, because each gram of protein is roughly 4 calories. That's 1,000 calories. Next thing is fats. Fats, you want to make up roughly 20 to 30% of your total calorie intake. So 90 grams of fats will be roughly 810 calories. The last thing, the bottom of the list, and it's the remainder after proteins and fats, is your carbs. 247 grams of carbs, which is roughly 990 calories. Now, there's a difference between simple carbs and complex carbs. Complex carbs come from pastas, potatoes, stuff like that. It takes longer to burn, and they're typically more unhealthy for you, especially if you're trying to cut weight. Complex carbs are more for bulking and trying to get bigger muscle. I stick to simple carbs. Simple carbs mainly come from fruit. Any fruit you can think of is loaded with simple carbs and fructose. If you're on Ozempic or you're on Zepbound or you're on any of the GLP-1 inhibitors, this is extremely important, okay? While you're cutting weight, it is important that you do some kind of resistance training. Whether you're doing a cardio boxing class, whether you're going to the gym and lifting light weights, you need some kind of resistance. There are a bunch of people out there taking Ozempic, taking Zepbound, taking these GLP-1 inhibitors, and the moment that they reach their goal, they're finding out that they're ending up with osteoporosis and losing bone density. That can happen when you have a sudden weight loss of extreme magnitude and you're not performing any resistance training. Your body is like, all of a sudden, I don't have this weight to deal with, so let's start dialing back on the calcium and everything that makes your bones strong. In recap, if you are on those GLP-1 inhibitors, it is important. Resistance training, that is key. That is going to keep your bones from getting brittle. You're going to have a healthier time. If you're just eating less, but not hitting protein, your body's burning what it can. And that might end up being your muscle. Weight loss is simple, but not easy. Do it smart, not fast. Keep your strength and keep your muscle. If there's anything you guys want to see, leave it in the comments below. If you like this content, give a like. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. It really helps the algorithm. And I hope to see you guys in my corner.